Kolya Gerasimov, a 10th grader, struggles with difficult relationships with his classmates. All of this is due to his unrequited love for Nastya, to whom Kolya left a farewell message on the class blackboard today. But what are these problems on a universal scale? Most likely, alien worlds neither know nor care who Nastya is. Kolya's only friend is Fima, a gamer. He will be the first to make contact with the aliens, ushering in a new era. From this moment on, Earth will become part of the Star Federation, and life on the planet will change dramatically. Now, space tourism, innovative interplanetary technologies, and communication with aliens will become something ordinary. But challenges will arise. Glot, a space pirate capable of not only controlling people's minds, but also traveling through time, has a hobby, changing the past so that the future benefits pirates. But that's a story for later. For now, it's still 2124. Kolya's peer Kira refuses to listen to her teacher's lecture on Pluto. Instead, she rushes home to play with her household robot, Werther. Her training session is interrupted by her father's unexpected arrival, and she must admit that it's not just a game. Alice has received an invitation to the Cadet Corps, but this explanation only frightens Professor Seleznev more. Having lost his wife to pirates several years ago, he doesn't want to risk losing his daughter as well. However, Alice is stubborn. She is convinced that her mother is stuck in the past, and only she can deal with the pirates and bring her back. Unaware that he too will soon face these problems, Kolya continues his tough battle with his classmates. After another fight, he is reprimanded and punished with the task of cleaning the classroom after lessons. Fima, being a true friend, stays with Kolya, but even he can't talk him out of snooping in the physics classroom. Amid a collection of interesting gadgets, Kolya finds a hidden compartment containing a tiny but extremely heavy box. Unable to resist his curiosity, Kolya decides to open it, and a real galaxy emerges from the box. It fits into Kolya's palm, and something extraordinary happens to him. The world begins to spin rapidly, and Kolya is literally pulled toward the exit. He can't control himself, and the only thing he hears is Glot's voice in his head. Upon stepping outside, Kolya asks passers-by to call a nurse, but instead he is surrounded by strangely dressed people. Terrified, the boy collapses onto the grass, and a mysterious girl appears above him. Alice doesn't immediately realize that Kolya has come from another time, but when she sees his school badge, everything falls into place. Meanwhile, Jolly Man Yu enters the prison isolation unit. He plans to get rid of his main rival, Glot, to take his place at the helm of the Pirate Alliance. But Glot offers a different option. Jolly Man Yu helps him escape, and in return, he'll help recover the cosian, which has reappeared somewhere nearby. The deal is sealed with an oath reinforced by a genetic mark that neither pirate can break. As soon as the special wires detach from Glot's spine, he regains an ancient power that allows him to travel through time and space. Alice explains the new world to Kolya and introduces him to her father. The professor immediately sends the visitor from the past for scanning, and he discovers the cosian in Kolya's body. Kolya admits that he found the box in the physics teacher's classroom. The professor tells his daughter the truth about her mother. Kira was ordered to travel to the past and hide the cosian, but she couldn't return. She had to stay in another time where she became a physics teacher. While the professor opens a strange letter he just received, Kolya sets off to find Alice. But along the way, he is stopped by Jolly Man Yu and Glot, who uses telekinesis to force Kolya to kneel. Werther, the robot, notices the pirates and warns the others, but this does little to help Kolya. Glot controls him, tilting the boy's head so Jolly Man Yu can kill him and take the cosian. Alice attacks the pirates, buying some time for her friend. This gives Kolya the chance to grab Jolly Man Yu's pistol. But when Glot refocuses on Kolya, the boy turns towards the professor and pulls the trigger. Alice can't help her father. The harder she runs toward him, the farther she seems to get. In the same instant, the entire group is transported 100 years into the past, onto a busy highway. But Jolly Man Yu stops a car and finally tries to eliminate Kolya. On the way home, Kolya tries to discuss the professor's death, but Alice assures him that everything can be fixed. For now, Kolya takes his new friend from the future to meet Fima, but Fima refuses to help, and Kolya has to come up with some story for his mom so that she'll let the girl stay with them. This time, Kolya shows Alice his room and tells her about the time he lives in. He doesn't miss the chance to show off his talents, hoping to impress her. As they prepare to sleep, Jolly Man Yu hails a cab to get to school, but when the taxi driver flees, Jolly Man Yu is forced to make the journey on foot, using a stolen navigator. The events happening in the city are on all the news channels, and Kira finds out about it. The next morning, the teens arrive at school, but before they can save the world, Kolya must deal with his classmate. Finally, he spots the physics teacher and tells her what's happened recently. He also mentions Alice, but their emotional reunion has to be postponed. Jolly Man Yu, the space pirate, appears in the school hallway. Physics teacher Kira stands up to protect her students, and an epic battle breaks out in the school corridor. Seeing that the pirate is gaining strength, Alice comes to her mother's aid, and for the first time in many years, Kira sees her now-grown daughter. Kira temporarily blinds Jolly Man Yu, giving the group a chance to escape into the classroom. But they all realize the barrier won't hold for long, and there's only one option for survival. Kolia tries his hardest to transport them into the future, but the cosian won't activate. Alice has to kiss her friend to give him an emotional shock, forcing the energy to work. As time begins to move, Kira severs Jolly Man Yu's arm. This distracts him, and he doesn't have time to step into the portal with the others. The group finds themselves in the same classroom, but now 100 years in the future. Kolia has to explain what happened to his classmates, Nastya and Victor. But when they look outside, they understand without words. However, the future looks far less bright than it did during Kolia's first visit. Before them appears Werther, the robot. He invites them to follow him, and along the way, he explains the problem. Fima was supposed to skip school for an esports tournament. During the game, he would have received the first signal from space, and Earth would have joined the Star Federation. But Glot changed everything. He took control of Fima's mind and prevented him from staying. Instead of Fima, Glot intercepted the signal, inviting the pirate forces to Earth and enslaving the planet. Werther leads the group to Jolly Man Yu's house by roundabout routes. Jolly Man Yu admits that Glot betrayed him 100 years ago, and now he needs help to get revenge. He can't do it himself because of the pirate's oath, but if the group helps him, the dark future can be changed. Jolly Man Yu reveals his plan. Kolia must create a time rift in his apartment right at the moment Glot intercepted the signal. The host has to step away briefly. He retrieves a hand from the freezer to pass the city scanner. After that, he leads Kira to the armory. Although, to be honest, there's not much to brag about anymore. Kira interrupts Kolia and Alice's date to send them on the mission. A small argument breaks out, and Kira learns that Glot made Kolia shoot Professor Seleznev. Jolly Man Yu becomes an unwilling witness to the conversation, and he crushes their hopes. They won't be able to save the professor because the cosian will take them a day later than the fatal shot. The remaining students discuss everything that's happened. Fima tries to piece together what the pirate said, and he starts to have suspicions. Why didn't Glot follow them here? Alice realizes they've fallen into a trap. Glot gathered them all in one place to destroy them at once. At that moment, Kira's group is surrounded by people in black cloaks. The students refuse to sit idly by. Only Nastya doesn't understand why they need to take such risks, but no one takes her opinion seriously, and she is forced to go along with the rest. The group manages to fend off their attackers for a while, but Kira refuses to change the plan because there are no other options. Moreover, a brave Victor appears behind her, using a banned projectile against Glot's army. The explosion nearly leads to disaster, but Kolia manages to open a time portal just in time. The group ends up in the city park in 2024, but Kolia doesn't stay. He tells Fima to receive the cosmic signal on time, then returns to the future to save Alice. Kira and Jolly Man Yu continue to fight Glot's army. Noticing that more people in black are appearing, Jolly Man Yu locks Kira away and takes the brunt of the attack. But his strength quickly wanes, and the enemy's spear makes Jolly Man Yu laugh one last time. As the wounded pirate lies dying, Glot appears beside him, but even then, Jolly Man Yu keeps laughing in his face. The marks disappear from the pirate's hands, meaning Glot now has full rights to the cosian. Fima and his classmates arrive at Kolia's house, but Glot is already there. He takes control of their minds one by one, trying to make them solve his problem by killing each other. At that moment, Kolia opens the time portal, and the pirate has to shift his focus quickly. First, he strikes Kira with Nastya's hands, and then forces Alice to eliminate Kolia. Nastya tries to stop the pirate, but Glot manages to block her attack and continues destroying anyone in his way. Alice tries to resist, but she only lets go when Kolia stops breathing. After that, using the girl's hands, Glot extracts the cosian from Kolia, and the tiny universe fills its new host. But Alice doesn't care anymore. All she wants is for Kolia to wake up. Somehow, she manages to restart his heart, but the cosian is already deeply embedded in Glot, making him nearly invincible. However, this isn't enough for Glot. In the past, he forces Kira to raise a sword and aim it at her own heart. But Fima shows incredible courage. Armed with a gaming hammer, he strikes the pirate. This gives Kira a slight advantage. But as soon as Glot recovers, the woman's mind is back under his control. To make the moment even more tragic, the pirate opens a time portal, ensuring that Alice witnesses her mother's demise. Kolia tries to fix the situation by pushing Glot into the past. He hopes the continuum glitch will destroy the pirate, but it only makes things worse. Glot begins to multiply, filling the room with his copies. It seems the world is in grave danger, but when the number of copies becomes overwhelming, it destroys Glot. However, this is not the end. Without a host, the cosian starts to overheat, threatening to destroy itself and the entire galaxy. Kira reaches out to catch the cosian, but Colia grabs it first. He realizes that this is the only way to restore everything, but it means he'll never see Alice again. Time starts to pull him into the past, and all of Alice's attempts to catch up to her friend are in vain. Before Colia's eyes, an amazing sight unfolds. He sees the universe from the outside, but within seconds it throws him back into 2024. Friends gather around Colia, trying to bring him back to consciousness, but he can't open his eyes. Colia wakes up days later, lying in a hospital bed. For a moment, it seems to him that everything that happened was just a dream, but the conversations of his friends say otherwise. They all remember Glot and the other characters. Colia decides to lie. He tells his friends that the cosian no longer exists, to protect the universe from further attempts to alter the future. Kira and Alice return to their home, where a living Professor Seleznev is waiting for them. At last, the family can reunite after years of separation. How did the professor survive? It was thanks to Colia. He sent the professor a letter from the past, warning him of the danger. And so it wasn't the real professor who died, but his hologram. Colia also left a message for Alice. Along with his friends, he planted a tree, carving a heart into it. 100 years later, Alice was able to see it in her time. This is where the movie ends.